Hey guys, welcome to the Lee Burke Project. I'm Lee Burke, and in this video we're going to be having a look at, if you don't live in the US, can you still sell on the US Amazon site? And action! Alright guys, so get this question a lot. I see it in a lot of comments on YouTube, and a lot of my friends ask this question too, because they're not really aware that if you're in Australia, for example, like I am, can you actually sell products into the US Amazon store? If you're in the UK, can you only sell in the UK, or can you sell into the US or the other Amazon markets around Europe, etc.? So let's explore that question and the answer to that question now, and also the implications of selling into another marketplace. Of course, anything I tell you today is not legal or accounting advice, so you still need to kind of chase that up with your own lawyer or accountant, just to make sure you're adhering to all your local laws and rules, etc. But if you just jump on Google, right, so jump on Google and have a look for Amazon International Bank Accounts and just hit enter. And when your results come up, you will be able to have a look at a website that details all the different international bank accounts that Amazon US will pay out to. Okay, so see just here, Amazon help countries and currencies supported by Amazon. So just click on there and you can see here, just note this: disbursements can only be made in the home country of the country where the bank account is located. For example, if your bank account is located in the UK, then disbursements can only be made in Great British pounds, even if your bank account is capable of accepting deposits in both GBP and Euro currencies. Alright, so have a look through this list. So if you're in any of these countries, you can see here of which Australia is one, but there's countries all over the world here. You can see some here where there's an asterisk, and it says disbursements in these currencies are supported via a partnership with Payoneer. Right, so let's go in and type up here Payoneer.com, and you can see here Payoneer is actually an online website that allows you to create bank accounts in different countries than the country you're a resident or citizen of. So, for example, if I did want to create a US bank account and I'm living in Australia or another international country other than the US, I can log on to Payoneer and actually sign up with them and create an American bank account. Now the beauty of this is if I'm selling into the UK market as well, on the same Payoneer account, I can also create a UK bank account for my disbursements from the Amazon UK market. And I can do that even if I'm on this list of being able to be paid directly into my Australian bank account. Now you need to look into it in a bit more detail depending on which country you're from, but for example, the exchange rates that Amazon use when they're paying me directly into my Australian bank account here, I would want to be comparing them to what Payoneer can provide. And if so, therefore, if it's worth my monthly account keeping fees for Payoneer, depending on what types of volumes I'm doing, to make that kind of a more profitable way to be receiving my funds from Amazon. So that's one of the things you need to look at. So the answer to the question is yes, you can sell into the US market if you live in another country, depending on the country. If it's on this list. Obviously, if you're not on this list, then you may want to go the Payoneer route. The other thing is that you can actually set up an LLC, which is a limited liability company, in the US if you live outside the US. So there's companies online like LegalZoom.com. You can have a look at those for forming an LLC. So that's another option you may want to take if you're outside the US. But in terms of getting your products into the US, so if you're dealing with suppliers from Alibaba, etc., you can get them to send your product directly to the Amazon warehouse for FBA, etc. So there's no limitation there in terms of tax, and this is where you're going to need to talk to your own accountant and get advice. But when you sign up as an international seller to sell on the US market for Amazon, there's a waiver, a form that you need to fill in. That's all done online as part of that sign-up process, which allows you to forgo paying tax in the US, basically, because you're not a US citizen, so therefore you will be paying your tax locally. So any of those disbursements that come either via Payoneer or directly from Amazon back to your home country would therefore be taxable in your home country. So that's just another thing to look at. So if you're international, definitely get on, have a look at the US marketplace. Also, if you're not in the UK, have a look at the UK marketplace. Some of the Eurozone ones, some of the bigger countries like Germany, also Canada is quite a big one. And there may be other opportunities there. Obviously, the sales volumes are going to be less, but there's a lot less competition. So it may be an opportunity you want to start looking at. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. From my perspective as an Australian seller on the US marketplace for Amazon, I have gone through the process, so I may be able to help you there. In terms of this video, please like. Definitely helps me. I'm trying to build up this channel and provide as much good advice and information as I can to help people out, especially with Amazon starting up in Australia. There's a lot of questions Aussies and even Kiwis have. I'm trying to help out where I can. Also, please subscribe. That'll be awesome. Like, subscribe, all the other good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.